Now you're going to learn how to fill out the final last section of the job application. In the case of our McDonald's job application, this is actually going to be on the back. It's the legal information section and signature. It's either going to appear usually at the bottom of an application or, again, if it's multiple pages, on the back or second page. Your learning target is that you can complete the legal information section of an application and sign it. You'll know you can do this when you check the appropriate boxes on the back page of the McDonald's app and sign the McDonald's application. Okay, so again, I've taken the McDonald's app and kind of just pasted it in here, and this is what it looks like at the very end. The legal information section is usually asking you about past convictions, okay? So if you've ever been arrested before, and if you have, why, and what happened, what was the result of that? What were you charged with? So it's asking about past convictions, okay? Note right here, here's kind of the question. During the past 5 years, have you ever been convicted of, pled guilty to, or no contest to a crime? Excluding, so not including, misdemeanors and traffic violations. Those are usually the two things that they don't care about. So misdemeanors are lesser crimes than felonies, right? So there's misdemeanors and felonies, and we're not really going to get into the specifics of that. If you're not sure what you've been charged with, you could look up your public record or just ask your parents, okay? For the most part, if you've been charged with a felony, you usually know that you've been charged with a felony. If you didn't serve any jail time, there's a chance it was just a misdemeanor. Okay, so McDonald's really doesn't care about misdemeanors or traffic violations. So if you've been pulled over for speeding or running a red light, or maybe your registration was expired, you don't need to write that here. McDonald's really doesn't care. They're mostly looking for violent crimes or felonies, okay? What you need to do here is you either check yes or no. Again, an X works, or a check mark. So for example, I have not in the past 5 years, again, other key, past 5 years, I've been convicted of either of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the no, and I'm going to make a check mark. That's right, I guess that's an X, right? I'm going to make an X right there. If you checked yes, then they expect that you fill out this part right here where you describe in full. That's where you'll probably write the official charge, okay, like assault and battery. And it would also be good to include when. So assault and battery in June of 2015, for example. That's what you would write there if you had marked yes. So just explain so that way there's no question. Sometimes there's a second question that they ask on job applications related to being a registered sex offender. In this case, McDonald's does care about that because they often employ younger people. So you have to answer that right here, yes or no. Again, either an X or check mark suffices. Then at the very end, as long as all of the information you put in the application is true, and you're willing to verify that information, because the McDonald's can ask at any point, you're going to then at the very bottom down here, sign and date. Now when we sign, make sure it's in cursive. Okay, that's how signatures are always in cursive. If you're not sure how to sign your name in cursive, let's work on that in class, okay? I can kind of show you what each letter should look like. And it doesn't need to be super neat and legible, right? Your signature is your signature, so make it unique. And then date. Make sure you just date it on the day that you finished completing the application. And again, the date format is kind of up to you. But there's signing and dating is Charlie Brown. And that is how you fill out the final section of a job application. So hopefully by this point, you have your whole application entirely filled out. I actually forgot about that part. There you go. So hopefully your whole application looks something like this, and you've got each section filled out that's relevant to you, and you're ready to turn it in.